All right, welcome back to the deep dive. You know we love digging into the stuff that really helps you level up. And a lot of you have been asking about improving English skills, right? So we're going to tackle that head on today.
Sounds good to me.
We're going deep on a specific episode, episode 22 to be exact, of Prince's Effortless English, Daily Habits for Improvement.
I like that title, Effortless English.
Right. Who doesn't want that?
Exactly.
And that's kind of the mission here today. What are the most impactful things you can start doing, like today, to boost your English without making it this huge extra chore? We're talking about making English just a normal, easy part of your day.
Absolutely. And, this episode hits on something really crucial. It's not about these massive study sessions. It's the small, consistent things you do.
Yeah.
We're gonna unpack why that's so powerful, break down the specific habits Prince suggests, and by the end, you'll have a clear path to weave English into your routine without it feeling like, oh, another thing to do.
All right, so let's get into it. The foundation of this whole thing is daily habits, those little things you do consistently. Why do they matter so much for English? This episode is all about consistency over intensity. We've all been there, cramming for a test, trying to learn a ton of stuff at once. It's exhausting.
It is, and it's not very effective. Think about it like this. You're not running a sprint. You're training for a marathon. Short, regular practice is much better for building those language muscles and, understanding how everything fits together.
It makes sense, right? With language, you want that constant exposure.
Yeah.
That's how your brain starts to naturally absorb the patterns, the words, the sounds.
As if you were living in an English-speaking country.
Exactly. But you don't have to go anywhere. We're going to bring that environment to you.
Right. And here's the thing about these small habits. They don't feel overwhelming. It's not like, oh, I have to sit down and do grammar exercises for 2 hours. Who wants to do that?
Nobody. But 10 minutes here, 15 minutes there, that's manageable, even on your busiest days.
And because it feels easy, you're less likely to put it off. You build momentum. And that's what keeps you going, that feeling of progress, instead of feeling like, oh, this is too much.
And that brings us to the power of just being exposed to English consistently. The more you hear it, see it, use it throughout the day, the faster your brain starts to pick it up.
It's like you're immersing yourself without actually immersing yourself.
Yeah.
Your brain's working in the background, making connections, even when you're not consciously studying.
So cool. Okay, let's dive into those 7 daily habits Prince lays out. This is where the rubber meets the road, right? Habit number 1 is about starting your morning with English. What are the key ways he suggests we do this?
So he suggests 2 things right off the bat. First, change your phone's language to English.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I know it might feel weird at first.
A little bit.
But think about how much you use your phone. You're constantly interacting with it, so you're getting this repeated exposure to everyday English.
Yeah, the menus, the settings, the apps. You already know what they do. Now you're just seeing those words in English.
Exactly. It's like passive learning. Your brain's absorbing it without you even trying.
I love that. Okay, so phones in English. What's the second part of the morning routine?
Reading English news while you're having breakfast.
Oh, that's a good one, too. I like to start my day with the news.
Me too. And there are so many great sources out there. BBC News, CNN, The Guardian.
Those are all great, clear, well-written news.
Right, and you're getting exposed to a wider range of vocabulary. World news, business, sports, whatever interests you.
It's like a 2-for-1 deal. You're staying informed and improving your English at the same time.
And again, it's about that passive exposure. You're not studying grammar rules. You're just reading and letting your brain absorb the language naturally.
All right. Habit number 2, thinking in English throughout the day.
This is where we get a little more active,
How do we actually do this?
It's about changing your inner voice, your thoughts. So you start narrating your actions in English. Like, I'm making coffee, I'm going to the store, I need to send an email.
I like that. Simple, everyday things.
Right, and the point is to break that habit of translating from your native language.
Because that slows you down, right?
Yeah, and it makes your English feel less natural. So instead of thinking, okay, how do I say this in English? You just think it directly in English.
Makes sense. And what if you get stuck on a word?
Ah, great question.
Huh?
Prince suggests using simpler English words that you already know. So instead of trying to find the perfect translation, you think, okay, what's another way I can say this?
I can see that would be helpful. You're building fluency with the vocabulary you already have.
Exactly. And the more you do this, the more natural it becomes.
Okay, habit number 3, listening to English on the go.
Yeah.
This one's all about maximizing those little pockets of time you have throughout the day.
Right. Your commute, your workout, even doing chores around the house, you can turn those into mini English lessons.
just by listening to podcasts or audiobooks.
Exactly. And the key here is to choose something you enjoy. If you're not interested, you're not going to stick with it.
True. But what if the speakers are talking too fast? I know that can be a problem, especially with native speakers.
Absolutely. So Prince recommends using the playback speed controls. Most podcasts and audiobook apps have them. You can slow it down a bit, make it easier to follow along.
That's a great tip. You can gradually increase the speed as you get more comfortable.
Exactly. And you're training your ear to get used to the rhythm and sounds of English.
Awesome. Habit number 4 is all about speaking out loud, which I know can be a little intimidating for some people.
It can be, but it's so important. You got to use your voice if you want to get better at speaking.
So what's the suggestion here?
Just 5 minutes a day. That's it.
5 minutes? That's doable.
And you don't even need a partner. You can just talk to yourself.
What do you talk about?
Anything. You can describe your day, practice telling a story, even pretend you're explaining something to a friend.
I like that idea. It gives you a context, something to talk about.
Exactly. And Prince suggests recording yourself.
Oh, that's a good idea. I do that sometimes when I'm practicing presentations.
It's a great way to track your progress. You can listen back and see how your fluency and pronunciation are improving.
And you can identify areas where you need to work on.
Exactly. And it's really motivating to hear yourself getting better over time.
Okay, habit number 5. Using social media in English. This one seems like a no-brainer in today's world.
It is. I mean, we're all on social media anyway, right?
Pretty much. So how do we turn this into an English learning opportunity?
By being more intentional about who you follow. Follow English-speaking influencers, educators, comedians, people you find interesting.
And pages about topics you're interested in.
Right, so you're learning and enjoying yourself at the same time.
And it's not just about passively consuming content, right?
No, you want to engage too. Leave comments in English, even if it's just a simple, great post or I agree.
That's a good point. It gets you using the language actively.
And you can join English-speaking groups or forums related to your hobbies.
So you're connecting with other people who share your interests.
Exactly. And you're practicing your English in a real-world setting.
Habit number 6 is all about expanding your vocabulary, which is essential for any language learner.
Absolutely. But this isn't about memorizing long lists of words.
No, it's much simpler than that.
The idea is to learn just one new word or phrase each day.
Just one, okay. That sounds manageable.
Right. And here's how you do it. Write the word or phrase on a sticky note and put it somewhere you'll see it often. Your computer monitor, your bathroom mirror, your fridge.
Those visual reminders are helpful. I use them for all sorts of things.
And here's the key. Use the new word in a sentence at least 3 times during the day.
Ah, so you're not just seeing it, you're actually using it.
Exactly. And that helps you remember it and understand how to use it correctly.
I like that. It's a small step, but it adds up over time.
And it's much more effective than trying to cram a bunch of words into your brain all at once.
Okay, final habit, number 7. Ending your day with English. This one sounds relaxing.
It is. You can wind down by watching a short English video or reading something in English.
Like a news article or a chapter of a book.
Exactly. Just 10 minutes or so.
And there's also a writing-focused suggestion, right?
Yes. You can journal in English.
Ah, that's a good idea. You can reflect on your day and practice your writing skills at the same time.
Exactly. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. Just a few sentences to summarize your day or your thoughts.
I love that. It's a gentle way to end the day and keep English on your mind.
So those are the 7 habits. And the best part is you don't have to do them all at once.
Oh, good, because that sounds like a lot.
Prince says even 2 or 3 of these habits can make a noticeable difference in your English within a few weeks.
That's really encouraging. You can start small and gradually build from there.
Exactly. Find what works for you and make it a part of your daily routine.
And speaking of making it a part of your routine, Prince has a challenge for our listeners.
Yes, he does. He calls it the Daily Habit Challenge.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
It's simple. Choose one of these 7 habits, the one that resonates with you the most, and commit to doing it every day for the next 7 days.
Just one habit for 1 week. I like that. It's achievable.
Right? Write down the habit, set reminders for yourself, and just do it.
And after a week, what then?
Reflect on your experience. Did you stick with the habit? How do you feel? Did you notice any changes in your English?
That's important, that self-reflection. It helps you figure out what works best for you.
And Prince encourages listeners to share their experiences online. He has a social media handle where you can connect with other people who are doing the challenge.
Oh, that's cool. A little bit of community support and accountability.
Exactly. It can make a big difference.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into Prince's effortless English, let's remember the key takeaway here. Fluency is not about massive effort. It's about consistency.
Right. It's about making English a natural part of your day, not a separate chore.
So our challenge to you, listener, is to pick one of these 7 habits and try it for a week. You might be surprised by how much progress you make.
Here's a final thought for you.
Yeah.
If this approach works for language learning, how else could you apply it in your life? Could you use these same principles to achieve other goals, big or small?
Food for thought, right? Thanks for joining us on the deep dive. We'll see you next time.
See that?